All right. I think this is worth talking about immediately. And this just came into my hemisphere, and I went and looked it up. There you go. Hey guys, peace and grace. Hang on, let me get some lights on. I'm just out here organizing folders, trying to make sure this equipment is going to be working. Let's see what's going to happen here. Okay, guys, hopefully this light's on. No. Okay, here we go. So check it out. Y'all ready? Watch this. I keep telling you the Lord's pressing me that here comes this nuclear tsunami. I don't know when, guys. I have no idea. I just know that he keeps putting it in front of me. Let me show you this right now. As of 2 days ago, the full list of NATO countries sending tanks to the Ukraine. Okay, now before I read this, let me make a point. If Ukraine is actively engaged in a war with Russia, okay, if you have all these countries sending their tanks to the Ukraine, well, I don't know about you, but I speak some other languages. Well, if the tanks aren't suitable for the Ukrainian language, you know, what are they in German? I mean, different tanks from different manufacturers, different weapon system, different training. I went and looked, and I forgot the number of weeks for someone to train on an Abrams is insane. And they're bringing a group of guys over from Ukraine to the U.S. to train on Abrams tanks. Is, you know, that was like 2 weeks ago. But wait till you see what the list is 2 days ago. It's like, freak out. Ready? Because really the thing about a couple of U.S. tanks over there isn't as imposing as what you're about to see. Get ready for this. It's not even close to what this is. So Germany's announcement, it would send 2 main battalion tanks to Ukraine. It is put in a group of a dozen other countries which are reportedly prepared to give Kiev armored vehicles. Berlin said on Wednesday it would provide as a first step. So there's 14 Leopard 2 tanks right there. Okay, to assemble 2 tank battalions. Ukrainian crews would be trained in Germany, which would provide logistics, ammunition, and system maintenance. Okay, the move followed intensive consultation among Germany's allies, which took place as German Chancellor Olaf Scholz faced increasing pressure over a perceived reluctance to provide Kiev with the tanks they say are essential to fight against Vladimir Putin's forces. The decision follows our well-known line of supporting Ukraine to the best of our ability, Scholz said, according to his translation. We are acting in a closely coordinated manner internationally. Read that again. Closely coordinated manner internationally. Okay, here we go. Ready? The re-export of the German-made tank requires Berlin's permission, so it was predicted that the green light from Berlin would lead to other countries following suit. There are 13 European armies that use Leopard 2s. A senior Ukrainian official told ABC News that a coalition of 12 countries had pledged MBTs to Ukraine last Friday's summit in Ramstein in Germany. Poland said it is going to send Kiev 14 of its Leopard 2 tanks. Okay, ready? So let's start counting. Just start, keeping a tally. Okay, so you got 14 from Germany, and I think maybe, as far as I read, maybe a couple others. Here's 14 more that are coming from Poland, 28. Poland has a stockpile of around 250. Finland said, which is not in NATO. Which is not in NATO. Finland said they're gonna throw some tanks in as well. So here we go. Watch. So Finland, which is not in NATO but has requested to join the alliance, has publicly said it's willing to provide the MBTs, while ABC News reported in that Spain, the Netherlands, okay, here we go, ready? That Spain and the Netherlands and Denmark were also willing to provide some of their tanks. Okay, are y'all getting this now? Do you know maybe one or two countries supporting with some tanks is one thing, but look at all the tanks. Just watch, it keeps going. Okay, now, the Spanish newspaper El País reported Madrid would supply the tanks once Germany had agreed to supply the tanks. Spain as well. Portugal is also reportedly getting ready to send Kiev 4 Leopard 2 tanks. Meanwhile, Norway is considering supplying Ukraine with up to 8 Leopards out of their stockpile of 35. On January 16th, the United Kingdom said it would send Ukraine 14 Challenger 2 tanks, while French President Emmanuel Macron said on January 22nd he had not ruled out that France might send their tanks, Leclerc tanks. So far in the war, Warsaw has backfilled the Ukrainian armed forces with T-72 and Polish-made PT-91 tanks. Further, T-72s were delivered by the Czech Republic and Bulgaria, according to the European Council on Foreign Relations. Meanwhile, U.S. officials have said Joe Biden will provide up to 30 Abrams tanks. Okay, guys, do you know, just stop and do the math. So, if I'm telling you, look, I'm just trying to connect dots. So if Jonathan Kleck has been telling the world for a long time, look, the bombings are printed on the U.S. currency. It's like a talisman. It's like a spell. There's the Pentagon bombing on the back of the $20 bill. There it is. There's the Twin Tower bombing. The federal building bombing. And they have these new bombings that they're going to do that they print on the money as well. There's the new $10 bill with the tidal wave coming over a 7-story building. And then they have the new $100 bill that's got New York being destroyed by nukes, printed just like the Twin Towers. It's all the same. Okay, so if I've been showing you that for years, and here we are at this moment in time, and all these tanks are going over to the front line against Russia, like the nuclear power in the world. It's like, wonder what the outcome might be. You know, you back Russia up, and you have all these countries that are not just sending their tanks. You don't think they're sending support people? Of course they are. Do you think maybe, we can't get these guys up to speed, there may be language barriers and this type of thing? We'll just put some of our guys in those tanks, don't worry about it. It's a no-brainer. So they're forcing the hand, but don't forget, it's already printed. What's going to happen is already printed on the U.S. currency. Don't ever forget that. Don't forget, Jonathan Kleck warned the world. I warned the world that this was coming in 2007. You see that? That's the Star of Satan. See that? That's the new $10 bill that came out that shows a tidal wave coming over a 7-story building with the reflection of the building in the water. Okay, that's who's doing it. The Church of Satan. When I say the Church of Satan, I mean the human host body that's attached to the pit that Satan's using as puppets. There's the $100 bill in New York being destroyed by nukes and water. Okay, now, do you think with all the tanks, did you count all the countries? Did you start adding up? You know, now you got a couple hundred tanks in there maybe, with everybody donating all the tanks. So do you think maybe they're going to accrue a couple hundred tanks? Do you think Russia's going to just say, meh, okay, come on, that's cool. You guys, don't worry about it. There's no off-ramp on this anymore. Y'all know that, right? There's no off-ramp. This is coming. It's going to happen. There's no off-ramp. They don't want there to be an off-ramp. I told you I saw, they had a presentation that was at the WEF. I'll put it on my other channel. I can't put it here. They'll never let it fly. They literally had a presentation for Ukraine of the future, what it's going to be like once they just wipe it out and then rebuild it. How in the hell did they come up with that? Cashless society. This wonderful Ukraine that's going to be like this. What? I don't know about you guys. Does that blow your mind? It's not even possible. But they showed up with this presentation. I'll put it on my other channel by tomorrow. It's insanity. Anyway, I just wanted you guys to know, tanks, and more tanks. Dave will put this in the show notes. But man, we got a whole lot of different tanks going over to Ukraine. So how are you going to support those tanks? Who's going to support them? Who's going to teach? You know, there's a whole lot of logistical stuff that needs to happen. And that has to be done through interaction with those people that have the tanks. And if you can't get it done because you have a battle to fight real soon, like they were talking about this offensive coming up right away, well, then do you think you have time to train all those guys to drive all those different equipments? Hell no. Whatever. That'd be like someone trying to learn how to drive a Standard that couldn't get down the street. It'd be ridiculous. Anyway, all right. I love you in Christ. It's coming, guys. It's coming.